Hello, I'm Ludovision, and this is part 1 of the new challenge I'm trying. Saw it on Vegeta311's channel. It is New Game 7 Fresh Start. Essentially doing a level 1 playthrough at the maximum difficulty this game allows, with nothing at the beginning, so you have to work for everything. It's explained a lot better on Vegeta's channel, so I'm just going to get right into the challenge itself. I've sped up most of it just because it is quite boring, and I play through the game in general at a very slow pace. So I've condensed what was actually about an hour and a half of gameplay into an 18-minute video. Sure, anyone who would have actually watched the entire... You know what, no one would have watched the entire thing if I had just had it on normal speed. But anyway, this is the Asylum Demon that's starting now. This is actually probably the first time this fight's been challenging. And that's only because I had to hit it so many times. I ended up just using everything I had to beat it, except of course my health flasks. But considering I can get one hit kill by just about anything in this difficulty setting at level 1 with no upgraded armor or anything, it's something to watch out for. I start as a pyromancer. It's actually not my preferred class, but since it's at level 1 and not starting level, I figured it was probably part of the rules that you have to be a pyromancer. No, at first it probably would have been a lot easier. It will probably have been a lot easier as a pyromancer than the other classes, partially because of the fireballs and partially because there are some quite powerful weapons you can use as a pyro, like the reinforced club and maybe the battle axe and the mace. But I'm more the type to use a fast weapon, so I was actually planning on using a thief or a wanderer at first. Still, it shouldn't be too big an issue. Now, I did watch the first video on Vegeta311's channel for this challenge. I didn't watch the second one. The main reason for that is I did end up copying most of what he did in the first video, and I want to do as much of this challenge as I can my own way. Now, the main reason I copied what he did was because it's actually been so long since I've played without the master key that I wasn't really sure where to go. Especially considering I was barely strong enough to kill a single enemy. Even those generally harmless enemies down in New Londo, the ones that are usually just cringing by a wall, they take 4 hits to kill on this character with a reinforced club. So it does make the game quite a bit tougher. And I've started speeding it up again since that fight's over. The first thing I did was went right up to well, actually first thing I did now that I look at it is gone and picked up some stuff around Firelink. But after that went straight up to the Undead Berg, and to the merchant actually. The first while in this video was actually me just getting my stuff ready. Now after realizing how much health they actually had, I decided it's not worth fighting them and just run through. My normal method is to kill everything. I'm not normally the type to run through it all, but sometimes when you're forced to do it, you have to. Now, I was trying to get the bonfire there for whatever reason. I don't really think a lot while I'm playing, so yeah. And seeing as I was copying a lot of stuff Vegeta did in his video, figured I'd go for the crossbow method down in New Londo, but I forgot to actually pick up the short bow. I will have to go back there later on and pick it up, which is a bit later in the video. But luckily at this speed it doesn't take too long. And you're about to see one of the stupidest deaths I have ever had in this game. Now before that, I didn't even know you could just climb on the ladder and instantly fall over if you didn't have enough stamina. Oh, and one thing I have done for this video, which I don't think I've done on previous videos at all, is when I die, I've just sort of cut away the footage of the run back. So I get to the point where it's just where I died in the first place, and it should play more like a single run that way. If you'll forgive my very poor explanation of what I mean. Yes, and these guys have followed me all the way down here. Now I think this is the part where I realized I'd forgotten the short bow, and just went back up there to pick it up. Not much to say about that. Now I did run into one problem during this video a little bit. That was obviously just a suicide. Forgot what I was going to say now. Oh yeah, the problem was with the souls. Now, despite getting a lot of souls for every single kill in this game, at some point during the catacombs, I did die and lose them all, and couldn't get back to the stain. So I ended up having to farm souls from the enemies over at Undead Berg and New Londo for a fair amount of souls to finish getting my upgrades done. I ended up getting it done, but it took me about 25 minutes in real time, so I've just cut that out entirely from this video. It's simple soul farming, and most of it was done at New Londo anyway. And here's Patches, as annoying as he always is. Now you may notice I only had enough souls for 7 of them. I went to try and kill one of these bone wheels to get enough for an 8th one, but I accidentally pulled 3 and they have so much health I couldn't actually get one down. So this is where I went for a bit of a farming run, came back with a bit over 7,000 souls. Now the enemies down in New Londo, the ones that barely fight back, they give about 125 souls per kill, or it might be 175, I don't quite remember. Yeah, it was 125. But the ones just past Firelink on the way to Undead Berg give 375. However, I found them a lot more difficult to kill, at least reliably. And I have done the same method, or the same upgrading order that Vegeta did in his video, to get the crossbow first, to be able to get the seal and the red tear stone ring. Just figured I'd try my luck at getting to Pinwheel here. You never know, even with a +1 reinforced club at New Game 7, you might be able to get him down. Can't be that hard. So here we are heading into New Londo. Now here's another stupid death I don't quite understand, because the ghosts aren't supposed to be solid. However, they can trap you. It's a bit strange. Now, I have never done this method before, so it took me quite a long time. Honestly, any attempts I'd had previously at crossbow sniping were just trying my luck mostly, and once you get in a spot that works, you don't move. But I haven't actually done this method before, and yeah. You can see I failed more shots than I succeeded with, but it eventually worked. And if this wasn't sped up, it would probably still be here at the end of the day. Or not, because he would have left already. And there's the key. Now, I'm not quite as fluent in getting past this area flawlessly as Vegeta seems to be in his video. So you see a couple of deaths there and a very close call on the successful run. But only one successful run is what you need, so managed to make it. Now I'm not quite as confident in my dragon or drake dodging abilities as I'd like to be, so I ended up doing a bit of a loop around them. As long as I get the ring, it doesn't really matter. However, I didn't survive long enough to make a trip down into, what's it called now? Darkroot Basin, I think it is. So I ended up, after that, apparently going down to New Londo again. I don't quite remember why. Oh, that's right. The blacksmith down here. I got him to upgrade my club a bit more for me. Since when I farmed the souls earlier, I made sure I had enough to get the Titanite shards to level up this club to +5. Unfortunately, I didn't have enough souls on me at the time to get it there at that point. If I had, I would have made it a fire one as well. And now I'm on my way up to Taurus Demon. And this is how I was killing them when I did attempt to do this area as part of the soul farming. Just pushing them off the edge like that, it's far quicker. Went back here again for a few extra things. Might as well spend the souls while I'm here, because you never know how many you're going to lose. And in my case, that would probably be quite a lot. Now you may notice it's still sped up right now. I failed my first several Taurus attempts, but I'm only going to show one failed one here. Partially because it would be boring to watch repeatedly, and partially because I actually lost some of the footage. I'm not sure how that happened, and I'm sure it's still there, but I just wouldn't know where to find it, considering how large my Fraps folder is. And that is how I found out that getting shot with those crossbow bolts gets me exactly the right amount of health to activate the red tier stone ring, so that is convenient. Actually, I think I did show both failed attempts on Taurus. I'm fairly certain this one didn't succeed. Never mind, I guess it did. And now I remember why I was a bit confused just now. I thought I had slowed that one down to normal speed, but it's still a fairly boring fight to watch. I'm a bit forgetful like that. Besides that, I did actually edit the video a couple of days ago, so I'd forgotten small details about it. I haven't been able to get around to doing the commentary for a fair while. But regardless, that was my Taurus Demon kill. And next stop is, after spending all those souls, it's time to head up to, what's the next boss? The Gargoyles. Should be interesting enough. Now I did have a go at killing the Black Knight up at the top of this tower. I think I did fairly well, but considering how bad I am at parrying this guy, yeah, didn't end too well. I think I was just a bit too hasty there. I'm actually not certain if that specific enemy will actually close the gate again. I don't think it does, but can't know for sure. And that was just pure luck, getting down to red tier stone health. It's time for the Gargoyle fight. Switching to the crossbow when there are two of them just makes it a whole lot safer. Considering the second one mostly just spams fire attacks. Mostly. And there's my downfall there. Being a bit too hasty with the shots. This has been Ludovision with the Dark Souls Fresh Start Challenge. I hope you enjoyed watching.